Hello, English learners. Welcome to the English Voyage podcast. My name is Miles, and today we are going shopping. Shopping is one of the most common situations where you may need English. Maybe you are traveling. Maybe you are living in another country. Or maybe you simply want to feel more confident when you enter a shop and speak English. The good news is, you do not need complicated English. In most shopping situations, a few simple phrases can help you communicate clearly. Today, we are going to learn useful English sentences that you can actually use in a shop. We will start when you enter the store. Then, we will ask about products. We will talk about sizes, colors, prices, and trying things on. And finally, we will learn what to say when it is time to pay. So, imagine that you are walking into a clothing store. The doors open. There are shirts, jackets, shoes, and bags all around you. A shop assistant walks toward you, and our shopping English begins. The shop assistant may say, "Hello, can I help you?" This is one of the most common questions you will hear in a shop. If you are only looking, you can say, "I'm just looking, thank you." This is a very useful phrase. It means you do not need help at the moment. Let us repeat it. I'm just looking, thank you. You can also say, "I'm just browsing, thanks." Browsing means looking at different things without deciding what to buy yet. But for beginners, "I'm just looking, thank you," is easier and very natural. Now, imagine that you do need help. You can say, "Excuse me, can you help me?" Simple, polite, and useful in almost every store. Let us say it again. Excuse me, can you help me? Maybe you are looking for a jacket. You can say, "I'm looking for a jacket." Maybe you need shoes. "I'm looking for some shoes." Maybe you want a gift. "I'm looking for a gift." The structure, "I'm looking for," is one of the most useful shopping phrases you can learn. Now, imagine you see a shirt that you like, but you want another color. You can ask, "Do you have this in black?" Very useful. "Do you have this in black?" You can change the color. "Do you have this in blue?" "Do you have this in white?" "Do you have this in green?" You can also ask about size. For example, "Do you have this in a medium?" Or, "Do you have this in a larger size?" Maybe the item is too big. Then you can ask, "Do you have this in a smaller size?" These phrases are especially useful in clothing stores. Let us collect them. Do you have this in black? Do you have this in a medium? Do you have this in a larger size? Do you have this in a smaller size? Notice something important. You do not need a long sentence. Short English works perfectly. Now, let us talk about price. You see something you like, but there is no price tag. What can you ask? The easiest phrase is, "How much is this?" Let us repeat it. How much is this? If you are talking about more than one item, you can say, "How much are these?" For example, you are holding a pair of shoes. How much are these? One item. How much is this? More than one. How much are these? You may also want to ask, "Is this on sale?" This means, "Is the price reduced?" Or, "Is there a discount on this?" Both are useful. For example, is this on sale? Is there a discount on this? Maybe you see a sign with 20% off. You are not sure if the discount applies to your item. You can ask, is this included in the sale? That is another helpful sentence. Now, imagine you find a jacket. You like the color. You like the style. But you do not know if it fits. You want to try it. The most useful question is, can I try this on? Let us repeat it. Can I try this on? Try on means put on clothes to see if they fit or look good. You may also ask, where are the fitting rooms? A fitting room is the small room where you try on clothes. In some places, you may also hear changing room. So both are useful. Where are the fitting rooms? Or, where is the changing room? Now you go inside. You put on the jacket. It is a little too small. When you come out, you can say, it's a little too small. Maybe it is too big. It's a little too big. Maybe it fits perfectly. This fits well. Or simply, it fits. Maybe you like it very much. You can say, I like how it looks. Or, I think I'll take it. That sentence is very useful. I think I'll take it. It means you have decided to buy it. Sometimes you like the item, but not the size. You can say, could I try a larger size? Or, could I try a smaller size? Maybe you want a different color. Do you have another color? You can also be more specific. Do you have this in navy blue? Do you have this in gray? Do you have this in red? Another useful question is, what colors does this come in? This means, what color options are available? Let us repeat that. What colors does this come in? This is slightly more advanced, but very natural. Shopping is not only about clothes. Maybe you are buying electronics. Maybe you are buying something for your home. Maybe you are in a supermarket. Sometimes you need information about a product. You can ask, does this come with a warranty? A warranty is a promise from the company or store that the product can be repaired or replaced if there is a problem. You can also ask, what's the difference between these two? This is very useful when you are comparing products. What's the difference between these two? Maybe you are choosing between two headphones. Maybe two phones. Maybe two coffee machines. This question helps you get more information. You can also say, which one do you recommend? That is a very useful phrase. Which one do you recommend? The shop assistant can then suggest the better option. Now, let us imagine a different situation. You are in a supermarket. You cannot find something. Maybe you need milk. You can ask, excuse me, where can I find the milk? Very natural. You can change the product. Where can I find the bread? Where can I find the coffee? Where can I find the bottled water? Another useful phrase is, which aisle is it in? An aisle is the long space between shelves in a supermarket. So you can ask, which aisle is it in? The worker might say, aisle 5, or it's at the back of the store, or it's next to the bread. This is why place expressions are also important when shopping. Now, you have finished shopping. You go to the checkout. The cashier may ask, is that everything? You can say, yes, That's everything. Thank you. Maybe you are buying something else. You can say, "No, I have one more item. Now it is time to pay." You may ask, "Can I pay by card?" Or, "Do you take cash?" You can also say, "I'll pay by card," or "I'll pay in cash." These are very common phrases. Let us repeat them. Can I pay by card? I'll pay by card. I'll pay in cash. The cashier may ask, "Would you like a bag?" You can say, "Yes, please," or "No, thank you." Very simple. Maybe you need a receipt. You can ask, "Can I have the receipt, please?" A receipt is the small piece of paper that shows what you bought and how much you paid. Let us repeat it. Can I have the receipt, please? Now, here is another important situation. Maybe you bought something yesterday, but when you got home, you realized it was the wrong size. So, you return to the shop. You can say, "I'd like to return this." Return means give the product back to the store. Maybe you do not want your money back. You only want a different size. Then you can say, "I'd like to exchange this." Exchange means change one product for another. Maybe the shop assistant asks, "Do you have the receipt?" You can say, "Yes, here it is," or "No, I'm sorry, I don't have it." Another useful sentence is, "Can I exchange this for a different size?" Or, "Can I get a refund?" A refund means the store gives your money back. These are very useful phrases when something is wrong with your purchase. Now, let us put some of these phrases together. Imagine that you enter a clothing store. The assistant says, "Hello, can I help you?" You say, "Yes, please. I'm looking for a jacket." The assistant shows you one. You like it, but you want another color. You ask, "Do you have this in black?" The assistant says, "Yes, we do." Then you ask, "Can I try this on?" The assistant says, "Of course. The fitting rooms are over there." You try it on. It is a little too small. You say, "Could I try a larger size?" The assistant brings another one. This one fits well. You look in the mirror. You like it. So, you say, "I think I'll take it." At the checkout, you ask, "Can I pay by card?" The cashier says, "Of course." Then, "Would you like a bag?" You say, "Yes, please." And finally, "Can I have the receipt, please?" That is a complete shopping experience using simple English. Notice that none of the sentences are very difficult, but together they help you communicate from the moment you enter the shop until the moment you leave. Now, let us slow down and review some of the most useful sentences. Listen carefully. I'm just looking. Thank you. Excuse me. Can you help me? I'm looking for. Do you have this in black? Do you have this in a larger size? How much is this? Is this on sale? Can I try this on? Where are the fitting rooms? It's a little too small. Could I try a larger size? What colors does this come in? Which one do you recommend? Where can I find? Can I pay by card? Would you like a bag? Can I have the receipt, please? I'd like to return this. I'd like to exchange this. Can I get a refund? These phrases can help you in many different shopping situations. You do not need to memorize all of them today. Choose 5. Practice those 5. When they become easy, add 5 more. That is a much better way to learn. Before we finish, let us learn some useful shopping vocabulary. The first word is size. Size tells us how big or small something is. For example, what size do you need? The next word is price. Price means how much something costs. For example, what is the price of this jacket? The next word is discount. A discount means a lower price. For example, there is a 20% discount. The next word is receipt. A receipt is the paper that shows what you bought and what you paid. The next word is refund. A refund is money that you get back after returning something. The next word is exchange. Exchange means changing one product for another. The next word is fit. When clothes fit, they are the right size for your body. For example, this shirt fits well. And one more, checkout. The checkout is the place where you pay for your shopping. Let us repeat them. Size, price, discount, receipt, refund, exchange, fit, checkout. Very good. Now, I have a small challenge for you. Imagine that you are inside a clothing store. You want to buy a blue shirt, but you need a medium size. Try to say these ideas in English. First, tell the shop assistant what you are looking for. You can say, I'm looking for a blue shirt. Now, ask about the size. Do you have this in a medium? Now, ask to try it. Can I try this on? Now, imagine it fits. Say, this fits well. And finally, I think I'll take it. Excellent. You have just completed a simple shopping conversation in English. Today, we learn English for one of the most common situations in daily life. Shopping. We learned how to ask for help, how to say what we are looking for, how to ask about color, size, and price, how to try clothes on, how to ask for another size, how to compare products, how to find something in a supermarket, how to pay, and how to return or exchange something. Most importantly, we learned that shopping English does not need to be complicated. A few short, useful sentences can take you a long way. So, the next time you are shopping, try to remember 1 or 2 of these phrases. Do not wait until your English is perfect. Use what you know. Start simple. Speak clearly. And keep the conversation going. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Miles, and this is English Voyage. Keep listening, keep practicing, and keep building the English you can use in real life. See you in the next episode. Goodbye. Shop, shopping, store, shop assistant, assistant, cashier, customer, product, item, clothes, clothing, jacket, shirt, shoes, bag, gift, color, black, blue, white, green, red, gray, navy blue. Size, medium, large, larger, small, smaller. Price, price tag. Sale, discount, 20% off. Fitting room, changing room. Fit, style, mirror, available, option, compare, difference, recommend, recommendation, electronics, headphones, phone, coffee machine, supermarket, milk, bread, coffee, bottled water, aisle, shelf, back of the store, checkout, cart, cash, payment, bag, receipt, return, exchange, refund, purchase, warranty, help, look, looking, browse, browsing, find, try on, take, pay, buy, cost, choose, need, want, ask, show, bring, decide, include, apply, replace, repair, recommend, compare, return, exchange, fit, checkout, available, larger size, smaller size, another color, fitting room, changing room, on sale, discount, receipt, refund, warranty, cash, card, payment, purchase, shop assistant, cashier, customer, aisle, shelf, price tag. I'm just looking. I'm just browsing. Can I help you? Excuse me, can you help me? I'm looking for. Do you have this in? Do you have this in black? Do you have this in a medium? Do you have this in a larger size? Do you have this in a smaller size? How much is this? How much are these? Is this on sale? Is there a discount on this? Is this included in the sale? Can I try this on? Where are the fitting rooms? Where is the changing room? It's too small. It's too big. It fits well. I like how it looks. I think I'll take it. Could I try a larger size? Could I try a smaller size? Do you have another color? What colors does this come in? Does this come with a warranty? What's the difference between these two? Which one do you recommend? Where can I find? Which aisle is it in? Is that everything? That's everything. Thank you. I have one more item. Can I pay by card? Do you take cash? I'll pay by card. I'll pay in cash. Would you like a bag? Can I have the receipt, please? I'd like to return this. I'd like to exchange this. Do you have the receipt? Can I exchange this for a different size? Can I get a refund?